Today, I stand before you in great pain. It is the pain of a community betrayed.
Amen.
It is the pain of the knowledge that once again we have seen our dreams and our hopes for freedom sacrificed upon the altar of political expediency. As a community, we know that pain is not new to us. We have experienced it before from friend and foe. But this time the pain is especially harsh.
Yes.
Because the betrayal has come from a friend who painted a vision for us. A vision that we would be included. And from a friend who said we could trust him to be our champion.
That's right. That's right.
Who assured us that we had a partner who would be dependable, courageous, and trustworthy. After all, it was the President's own words and his vision that inspired us to work harder for his election. It was he who looked us in the eyes and said, "Trust me," that he understood our struggle and that he would be the vehicle to our freedom. And quite simply, the President of the United States has failed to keep his promises to us. Let's be clear. This new policy is no real change from current policy, and in many ways is worse. If our Commander-in-Chief, President Clinton, had to live under this policy himself, he would never be able to acknowledge the existence of Mrs. Clinton or Chelsea. He could have no photographs of them where anyone could see them. He couldn't go out in public with them. And he would have to lie 24 hours a day about the ones he loved the most. Mr. President, you can't live a lie 24 hours a day, and neither will we. This policy will create a military filled with a network of informers. If someone is jealous at the promotion that the fine work of a lesbian or gay person earned them, all they need to say is that they are gay. And immediately we are placed under investigation and dismissed from the service of our country. This policy is totally and completely unacceptable to this community. This is no compromise. Let us not be fooled. Let us not be fooled by the clever rhetoric from the White House decision makers that merely gift wraps a horrendous policy of prejudice and hatred.
Amen.
They throw up their hands and claim that they had no choice. Despite us having such powerful allies on our side as Barry Goldwater, Congressional Honor Medal of Honor winner Senator Robert Carey, Senator Edward Kennedy, Mrs. Martin Luther King, the President of the United States claims he was powerless in the front of his own Joint Chiefs of Staff? I don't think so. The President said he did everything in his power to protect our brothers and sisters. That too is not true. But as we regroup and plan our future struggle to find our freedom, it's important to know, and I want to share with you, exactly what happened and not let the White House spin doctors hide the truth.
That's right.
Because as all of us have known for generations, the truth sets us free. Coming out of the closet sets us free. The truth sets us free. The President, by his own admission, said that until recently he had only spent a couple of hours on this issue. He reassured our leaders in late April at that historic White House meeting that all was well and that he was sure that he would have General Powell on his side. We were constantly told by high-level White House staffers not to rock the boat, that all would be taken care of, and that we would not be let down. We have recently relearned from friends within inside the White House that while details of the don't ask and don't tell policy were being worked out between the White House and the Pentagon, we were purposely misled in order to keep us quiet. We were told that the policy had not been settled and that it was still open to major change. The White House political operatives determined that we as a community had nowhere else to go, and that even our anger would work in the favor of the president by showing the country that he could stand up to queers. The White House officials has acted if they were the victim of this issue, and that they just had to get it behind them so that they could get on with the real business of the country. But let us be real clear.
That's right.
Mr. President, the freedom of millions of Americans from the tyranny of decades of oppression, decades of persecution, and decades of witch hunts is the real business of America. Mr. President, hear us. Hear us. You were called to greatness, and instead you sacrificed the freedom of millions for your own political expediency.
Amen.
Amen.
You were not the first president. You were not the first president to be asked to rise to a higher moral ground of freedom and answer a call to a greater good.
Right.
President Truman, when faced with a similar choice, racially integrated the armed forces of the United States. When he did, he saw all of the Southern delegates to the 1948 Democratic Convention walk out. He rose to the higher moral ground of civil rights, and he won. President Kennedy, when faced with the rising aspirations of the African and American community in the early 1960s, saw the traditional Democratic South break up. But he too rose to the moral high ground. He answered freedom's call, and his party also won.
Amen.
Mr. President, you've surrendered to your own subordinates without mobilizing a nation,
Amen.
without visiting Congress, without giving freedom a chance, and without articulating to the American people the need to bring us all together. You went on television yesterday for only the first time to talk about this issue, and it was to declare a defeat, not to call us to battle.
Amen.
But you have made a mistake. You have made a mistake. Because this community is not a disposable commodity recycled for the next election. We are here to stay, and your betrayal has only made us stronger.
Right.
In your weakness and fear of the military, we have found new strength.
Right.
We know that without a doubt it is our struggle to win or lose. It will be our strength that will win our freedom. And unlike you, we will not be deterred. We are not afraid, and we are moving forward. Because in these difficult times, we have not lost sight of who we are.
All right.
We have not lost sight of the progress and the victories that we have won on this journey already. The lesbian and gay community can be proud, very proud, of the fight that we have waged.
Amen.
For the first time in our history, we have formed coalitions with groups like the NAACP,
That's right.
the AFL-CIO,
Amen.